Hello, love yourself to wealthers. Apologies for a few minutes late. I was having some technical issues with Facebook, but I think we're good to go now. And I've got my microphone plugged in, so the sound quality should be a lot better than it was this morning when I did my forecast. So, welcome to the Your Personal Year Ahead forecast for 2022, and I'm going to give a minute for some people to come in to the live and join us live here as we gather together to explore our personal numerology for the year in terms of our year number. And I'm going to teach you how to calculate your year number and how to how that's going to intertwine with the energy of the 6th universal year that's coming in for the collective. So we're going to be diving into that in just a moment. And how are you guys loving this energy today of creativity and limitlessness, really, because the Joker can be anything, right? And so we're having this 3 energy day come in with the Joker no contract day, and it's just a lot of fun. It can be, really creative and playful and fun, and lots to dive into. So really exciting. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and talk a little bit about the year ahead for first, and then we'll go into the calculation of your personal year, and then we'll dive into more of the individual year energies. So welcome if you're joining on the live or on the replay. Good morning, Doreen. Good to see you. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to talk about the 6th universal year for a moment. And if your personal year number calculates to a 6, this is going to apply to you as well. So you'll want to listen carefully to this. But this is going to apply to all of us. And then our personal year is going to intertwine with this energy. And I'll talk about how that works together. So personal year 6 and for the collective, the year 6 is about expressing yourself creatively. So, this energy that we're starting New Year's Eve today is so beautiful because it just blends right in with what we're coming into in this 6th energy year. And creativity is like really highlighted in this year, especially in the area of your home, decorating and feng shui, beautifying your environment, creating balance, creating harmony, creating peace and ease in your environment is going to be really, really important. And in your workplace, if you don't work from home, if you work outside the home, that's going to become really important to you as well. And all of us are going to be focused more on creating spaces, sacred spaces, spaces that feel really good to be in. And we started doing this back in 2020 to an extent when we were locked down at home, and so people were doing some redecorating and things like that to create their space a little bit more homey. But this year it's really going to be about making it feel sacred and making it feel really special and bringing that creative edge into it. That there was a different type of energy back in 2020 that didn't really allow for that as much, and this will just feel really beautiful. This is about beauty, it's about art, it's about creating music in your space, even just the idea of music in the space, and bringing maybe sound to your space, like an indoor water fountain or something like that, wind chimes, things like that, bringing that in to create that harmony, right? That balance, that good feeling. And so that's going to be a big focus. And while that's happening, it's also going to be a lot of focus on home life and family and people that are closest to us, our our intimate friendships and family are, you know, the people we spend the most time with. So if you do spend a lot of time at work, your coworkers and your relationships with them are going to be really important to you as well this year. And but balancing that work and family life is going to come into a big focus this year, and we're going to want to, if it's been out of balance, it's going to become very uncomfortable to keep it that way. You're going to be coaxed into or forced into bringing things into more balance. And so if you've been overworking, if you're a workaholic, that's going to change. That's going to come into more balance this year. You're going to actually want to spend more time at home. You're going to want to put more emphasis on your family and on your personal relationships over overworking. So that's going to be a theme for this year. And you know, a lot of people are going to be getting married, having children if they don't have them already. But also purpose is going to be very important. So, well, we'll talk about that in a second. I want to just stay on the theme of homes and relationships, because this is also a very karmic year. So, you know, any coming together with new people that might happen could be to resolve some karmic issues from the past. So, you know, if you start a new romantic relationship or anything this year, that could have karmic undertones to it, where you are working out some things from the past, or coming together with someone who you've had great love with in the past. So we might see people coming together that are soulmates or twin souls, whatever, twin flames, however you want to look at that. There can be these relationships coming in, and some have already started to come in as we've felt this energy start to come in this year. So this is not always a bad thing or means a lot of drama. It can, or it can mean great love, you know, and so it just depends on what kind of karmic relationship you've had in the past when you're coming together with this person. It's also about working out inner child stuff. So, you know, things with parents, and, you know, particularly anyone who was in a nurturing role to you. So mostly mother, but it can be father, it can be a caretaker. You know, it just depends on what situation. It could be some important adult figure in your life. But working out any residual issues or things that may have come up in your lifetime around that person or your relationship with that person, and doing that inner child work is going to be a big theme for this year. So, so all of that's going to be like in the spotlight. And then the other piece that's going to be in the spotlight for us personally is our purpose. And if you haven't gotten to that point yet, you are going to get to the point where you can't stand it anymore if you're not living in your purpose. That 6 energy is coming in and saying, we're bringing this into balance, we're bringing this home, and your purpose is very clear in front of you. And if it's not, it will be by the end of this year. You will get clarity around that. You're going to be very pulled to discovering what that is and leaning into that and starting to head on a very clear trajectory toward expressing that purpose. And so that's also going to be a big focus this year. So while we are going to want to spend more time with family and friends and have that balance between work and our home life, we're going to also be very pulled to our purpose. So the interesting thing is, you know, we weren't made to work in an office situation or in a factory or, you know, all of this stuff where we work these long hours every day. And, you know, it's kind of, I don't know, some people love their jobs and that's probably because it's in alignment with their purpose. But most of us were not, we're not called to work in those types of situations. And, you know, as we're finding that balance between this old corporate structure this old idea of dollars for hours, this old idea of how we work and how we earn money instead of allowing us to be in the flow of money because we're expressing our purpose. There's a difference there. And so we'll be able to start stepping into the experience of more wealth creation, which I know that's the focus of our group here. So, more wealth creation in every area of our life as we step more fully in alignment with who we are, who we came here to be, and why we want to do it. And then, really focus on creating that. And in that, we will create that fun, that harmony, that balance between our work life and our personal life, because it's going to start becoming alchemized together, right? It's going to start blending together and to be a whole of who we are. It's not going to be this kind of separate thing that it has been in the past, where it's like, here's what I do for a living, and then here's my family life. It's going to blend together in a beautiful way as we move forward into our new world and our new life and our new way of living as a collective. And so that definition of work is going to change and shift dramatically, and we're moving into more of what we do in our life for our expression of purpose is not going to be considered work. It's not going to be considered a job. It's going to light us up. It's going to be fun. It's going to be easy. It's going to be playful. It's going to be fulfilling, right? It's going to bring us that peace and ease and harmony that this 6th year is asking for, that this is bringing in, and the blending of shifting our values around and shifting those priorities that we've been putting on materialism. That is going to shift dramatically. And not that we're not going to have desires or want things, we certainly will, but this focus of getting things from the outside of you to try and feel fulfilled, that's all shifting. We're learning to live from the inside out instead of the outside in. And as we do that, all the things just come to us instead of us feeling like we have to work hard or push through or, all of these old ideas of how you can get what you want or get the things that are status symbols important in life, or even money, where we're going to start attracting the money and being in the flow. Like I was saying, it's just going to be very, very different. We're starting to realize that the way we've been living just isn't working, and going back to it is not only not a possibility, but it's not something we want. It's not we see the dysfunction in it, right? We're finally seeing that. And so that's going to be a big theme as well. And, the lower side of the 6 is going to come up as well, to be navigated, to be cleared, to be understood and seen for what it is. So the karmic influence, we're going to see a lot of stuff come up in our personal lives that if we haven't faced it yet, if we haven't cleared certain energies between us and other people, or if we've not been living fully in alignment with our true values and our true essence, those things will be coming up for us to see and clear so that we can move on and move into our new way of being, our new life. And we'll see a lot of that going on in the collective too. And the invitation is not to get caught up in the drama, right? And just be the observer, and clear what's yours to clear, and do your acceptance and forgiveness work around things that might trigger you, but then also to, really get that clear focus of, okay, but now all of this stuff has come up, it's been cleared, and how do I move forward? Not getting stuck in all of that, right? And so that's a lot about what this 6 year is asking us to do as well. We're going to be doing some healing, like I said, with that inner child work and other karmic things that might be coming up, but and there will be like a little bit of this feeling of nostalgia for the past. We're feeling that right now. That's going to start dissipating as we go through the year. But in the first 3 months to half of the year, we're going to feel that real strong, and we're going to be focused more on, clearing some stuff. And if you've been doing that all along, you'll be moving forward a little further and faster in your purpose than the collective will. But there will be things that come up, and you can just clear them as you go if you've already been doing this work and you know how to do it. There's no getting stuck here. That's the thing to watch out for, is not to get stuck in the healing. It's like this is the year where we're integrating and healing, but we're also moving forward on purpose. And so that's the invitation here. The other thing that, can come up in all of these revelations about ourselves and the people around us is, 6 is on the low side about the control structures. And so, where have we been trying to control in order to feel safe, to feel better, and this is about all of this codependence, right? That's clearing. And I've been talking about this for months now, as living from the inside out is learning to let go of all those codependent behaviors. So whether we've been people pleasing, avoiding, controlling, complying, in denial, like all of that stuff is going to come up to be cleared if we haven't been facing it or dealing with it, or new layers of it might come up to be cleared. But we're really clearing this out because we can't take this stuff with us. We have to learn to live a different way and, trust that we have everything within that we need, and that we are the source of our everything, right? And so we've been talking about that a lot. So I just want to check in and say hello and see the comments. Hi, Samantha. Good to see you. Yeah. Hi, Ashley. Good to see you guys. So let me know if this is resonating, if you've been feeling this energy coming in already. I know I have. And so I'm going to stop here and talk about, just real quickly, how do you calculate your personal year number now that there's a few of us in the room. So it's super simple. You take your birth month and your birth date and you add the digits together individually. So if your birth date is December 15th, you would add the 1 plus 2, which is 3, plus 1 is 4, plus 5 is 9, right? And so then you add that sum total, that 9, to the 6 energy year. So you would get 15, and then you break that down, 1 plus 5, so you'd be in a 6 energy, which means everything that I just said would apply to you amplified this year. So you would really be focused on those family things, clearing the karma, the purpose, all of that, right? And really on focus. And I didn't even realize when I picked that number that would be it. But whatever number you come up with when you calculate that, that is your year number. So I'm going to go through the rest of the year numbers now and make sure that we have time to get through all of them. So everything that I said about that 6 year for the collective is also going to apply to you amplified if you are a 6 personal year. So let me know in the comments if you need any help there. So Samantha, just tell me in the comments what your birth month and day is, and I'll make sure you get the right year there. And anybody else who might be having questions about how to calculate that. Yeah, I can write that in the comments. So let's see. Let's say your birth date is, if example is 11, I don't know, 17, then you would take 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 7, which equals, 7 equals, let's see, 10. Okay, and then you would break that down to 1 plus 0 equals 1. And then we want to add that to the 6th year. And then you get your personal year is 7. So here you go. See if that helps you. So Samantha, you're March 26th. So that's 3 plus 2, which is 5, plus 6 is 11. And then 1 plus 1 to break down the 11 is 2. And then you're going to add the 2 to the 6th year. So your year would be an 8, your personal year. And Ashley, you are 727. So you take the 7 plus the 2, which is 9, plus the 7 is 16, which is 1 plus 7, which equals 7. And then you're going to add that to the 6th year, which is 13. So your personal year is 4. So does that help you guys? Let me know in the comments if anyone else is confused on how to calculate that. I actually had planned to have something where I could share the screen and show you a calculation visually, but I did put it in the comments for you there, so hopefully that'll help. If you are watching this on the replay and you need help, just put a comment in and I'll help you determine your personal year so that you can know which one is yours. So yes, Samantha, your personal year is 8, correct. So yeah, so you're adding the collective year, the collective annual year to your birth month and birth date. That's what you're doing. So yeah, Ashley, so you're 4 personal year for you. Okay, so I'm just going to go through these in order from the 6, since we started at the 6. And personal year number 7, if your personal year is 7, you're looking back at freedom. Freedom is the key theme of your year for you, and what that looks and feels like to you. And so if you think back 2 years ago when you had your 5 year and you were focused on freedom, that had a certain flavor to it. And we were in a 5 energy year collectively this year in 2021. So that experience of wanting more freedom, wanting more personal freedom, and having that focus, and freedom was a big buzzword this year, that will be replaying in your 7 year. But this year you're going to actually take actions towards truly setting yourself free. That's the difference between the 5 is that desire for it and the wanting of it and creating experiences of it, but the 7 is more about, okay, I'm gonna take the leap and actually create that freedom. So when we talk about the changes in what you're doing for a living, your purpose, right? Switching from working a job to living your purpose and allowing yourself to really experience that freedom, but it's going to require a leap forward for you. It's going to require an act of faith to jump into it. It's going to be a little uncomfortable to make that switch until you just really trust, and you're being asked to trust this year. That's a big part of the 7 is belief and trust, and focusing on keeping your focus up, like spiritual focus, right? So that you can have that belief and trust that you do work with source, or whatever you call your higher power, to create the life you want, and to trust that if you lean into your desires, that you will be taken care of, that you will be more than taken care of, right? So 7's also a really physical number. So this is, where you're bringing things into the physical world, where the 5 was, feeling it. The 7 is more about bringing those experiences into your physical world. And if you get stuck this year, move your body, dance, go hiking, get some sort of physical movement going in. That'll help you get unstuck, especially if you start feeling stuck in fear, anxiety, worry, doubt, anything like that. That'll help you get unstuck from that. It's about letting go. The 7 is about releasing and letting go of things, attachments that we're attached to, and combined with that 6 energy year, we're really looking at letting go of any codependent behaviors, on steroids for the people who are in the 7 personal year, or you're in the double 6. Either way, you're going to be experiencing that really strongly. And so, but the 7 is a lot about beliefs, right? Your belief systems, you're changing your way of thinking so that you can have those different experiences in your physical world, and changing the way that you just all of the programming, you're going to be letting a lot of that go this year, and changing what you think about what work is, what love is. You're going to be releasing habits that don't serve you. Maybe releasing some people, places, things, all of that, just letting go of any attachments you have. It's a little different than the releasing in the 9 that we'll talk about when we get there, but this is really about not necessarily ending things, but letting go of those emotional and mental attachments that you have to things. So it's a little bit different. Also, attachments to things in your physical environment. So, letting go of things, like you may be clearing a lot of stuff out of your physical environment, when you're in that 6 annual energy of redecorating. The 7's going to say, yeah, and let's get rid of all the junk, all the crap, all the stuff I've accumulated that's just, I don't want to take it with me in the future. So you're going to be doing a lot of that. And your main lesson this year is releasing things that feel like they're weighing you down, so your physical environment, and this is very much a feng shui thing, your physical environment is reflecting your mental state and the state of your heart. So if you've got a lot of clutter in your environment, if you've got a lot of just stuff piled up or whatever, then clearing out your physical environment can help you actually clear your mind a little bit. But then you have to do the inner work in order to keep your environment clear, or it's going to come back in and pile up again. It's the law of vacuum at work. So you'll be doing that. You'll be releasing these things that feel heavier to you, these ideas, these belief systems, in order to focus on what you love, right? And so you're going to decide what lights you up, and you're going to notice what holds you back from experiencing that. And the question for you is, are you going to trust? Are you going to be willing to take that leap forward into what you love, and move forward in your life instead of being stuck and being afraid and not trusting, right? So trust is a big word for you this year, and leaping forward, and knowing that, when you build that trust, safety, and confidence in following your path, like everything else is going to fall into place. And so that is how it works, and being open to the possibilities that are available to you. 7 is very much about being open to infinite possibilities in infinite ways. Money can come to you, love can come to you, health can come to you, all of that. Also, really important in a 7 year, speaking of health, to take really good care of yourself. So you're going to be more focused on your physical body and nurturing it, and giving it that love that maybe you've been neglecting in the past few years. So that's for the 7s. So personal year number 8 and 7s, let me know if that's resonating with what you're feeling coming in as you're watching the replay or here on the live. Personal year number 8. Okay, so if personal year 8 is your year, then you're going to be focused on developing more independent thinking, being and acting, which blends beautifully in with this 6 energy. Again, the letting go of codependent behaviors, right? We see this theme going on because it is permeating all of the personal years. even though your personal year may be focused on some other things as well. But for the eights, you're going to really start thinking for yourself more this year, and not trusting yourself versus outside influences, versus going to other people for validation is the word I was looking for. You're not going to want as much validation from the outside world. And if you have been focused on that, if you've been focused on the look at me, look at me, look at me, you're going to have to face that this year. This is the year you're going to have to face that and notice that about yourself, and be willing to let that go and really start trusting yourself, trusting that you don't need other people's validation. You don't need anything from outside yourself, and you don't need to lean on other people's ideas. The eight actually knows a lot of stuff. The eight's very intuitive and very wise. And so, it's about coming into that self-mastery and really developing your own sense of being. And there will be things that happen this year to help you develop your independence more within your mind, within your heart, within your physical environment, with your body, all of this, right? And people who are in an annual year 8 tend to attract more resources from the outside world. So you will probably be able to have, well, if you dive into the high side of the 8, you will have everything you need. If you're noticing lack anywhere around you, then you will be learning that you are the source of all of your resources. So if there's a resource, there's a source. So money, love, health, all of that, you're the source of it all. And this is the year that you are coming into mastery of that and really leaning into that for yourself. And so you'll be getting lessons this year that help you to learn that, to learn to be more independent, and that your safety, your security, it doesn't come from the outside world, and it's not your the outside world can't provide you with anything that you think you need from it. It's all about having that mastery to get it from within, and knowing and really embodying the it's a mastery, embodying the mastery of that you are the source of everything. And so this whole year is going to be about noticing where things have been holding you back, finding that liberation from that, and moving forward. And you'll be moving forward into your purpose. And eights have the ability to create massive amounts of wealth. And not that all numbers do, but 8 is the number of abundance. So you'll be able to experience all of the abundance that you've been desiring for so long, as you allow yourself to come more into your own and master yourself. If you haven't done the brain game, this would be a really good time to do it, because that will help you come into that self-mastery of your emotions, your mental thinking, your physical self-mastery, and each spiritual as well. So yeah, big year for the 8s. And then for your personal year number 9, if you are a 9 this year, have a personal 9 this year, this is going to be a year where you complete a lot of things. I've been running into quite a number of people who have personal year number 9s coming in. And so, completing things. And so we think of that in terms of the collective year too. So you're going to be completing relationship dynamics. So whether the relationships actually run their course, or you're just going to complete a dynamic that you've been looping in for some time, and stepping out of the drama of that, you may still be able to have that relationship continue, but it would continue in a completely new way. It would have to completely transform for you to go forward with it. And so that's what you'll be experiencing this year in your relationships, and, you know, seeing that karma rise up and those old patterns and ways of being with one another. And you'll be deciding who is not healthy for you to be around anymore, and you will be making changes. And so your immediate group of close people, your family, your friends, your co-workers, boss, all of that is going to be under scrutiny for you this year, and you're going to be making changes in those relationship dynamics and or letting go of some of those relationships. And so you're going to see a lot of that, and it's going to be centered a lot around the codependency. I feel like control of any sort of abuse situations, whether it's you or them being the abuser. You're going to notice what's going on in that dynamic, and you're going to make changes. You're going to come more into balance with yourself and with the people around you through that those endings that are happening. So, and this will happen with your purpose as well. So what you're doing for a living will likely change this year dramatically. Could be the ending of a job in favor of living a purpose, something that you're moving into that you love. You're in this initiation and completion phase, this transformation phase, and so you're going to be aligning more with your true self. And if something's not aligned, it's going to be obvious and it's going to be gone. And if you don't choose it, you'll get invitations in the first half of the year to choose to release these things, but if you resist it, it will be removed for you by the end of the year. And so, you know, just allowing and going with the flow of the release will help you move through the year a lot more peacefully, a lot more easily. I would say be mindful of not getting caught up in the drama, and keep your focus spiritual. You know, the 9 is a very spiritual number, and also on being of service and the greater picture, the greater good. You're going to want to release anything that inhibits you, makes you feel out of sync with what you know is right for you, right? The 9 is about doing what's right for you. So when I say being of service, I'm not talking about codependent service like rescuing or people pleasing or, you know, over giving from a place of depletion. I'm talking about being of service from a place of overflow, right? And so you need to focus on what feels right for you and what you know is right for you, and then come into that place of service when you're choosing to serve. And this is a year that, you know, by the end of it, you will want to celebrate. You can celebrate the releases all throughout the year, and really embrace those. It will make your year so much better. And really, you know, this is the knowing of any endings that are happening right now, any releasing that's taking place. You've actually created this through the desires that you've been putting into the world, the desires that you've been focused on creating. The things that are ending now, the things that are going away, the universe is moving everything around for you so that you can have what you want. So just trusting in the releasing, trusting it, and allowing. Allow is going to be your big word for the year. So, you know, with gratitude, allow things to go with love, with gratitude, and know that you're moving forward through this releasing process. Again, this is a great time to deepen your connection with Source and really develop that faith, fortitude, trust, you know, be open to learning at a deep level that you deserve to experience life on your terms. So that's really a big thing for you this year. And so now we're going to go to the beginning here, the personal year number 1. Just I'm releasing a lot right now, doing a lot of detoxing. So, okay. Personal year number one. If you're personal year number one, you are going to be all about the new. You're going to be birthing the new this year. It's the personal year one helps you develop your sense of independence so you can experience a fresh start. And so combined with that sixth energy year again, you're going to be you've already done the letting go in this 2021. I'm sure you've been feeling it. I'm sure you're welcoming in this new year of the newness and the one and getting to start over and all of that. And you're going to be inspired to do a lot of that. You're going to be inspired to complete anything left over, especially in the first 3 months of the year, because we're closing out 2021 in those first 3 months. And starting new stuff, right? And the inspiration will come in, lots of new ideas and intentions for the whole year. Things will be, changing constantly because you've got all these new ideas and new things. You want to experience the new. You're likely to move homes and move around because of the desire for something new, and coming in with that 6 year too. There's a lot of movement coming in with that 6 year in terms of finding, the environment you want to be in, and you want something new. So I could see you moving this year. If not, you're going to totally overhaul your house for sure. Like maybe even like construction wise, you might, do an add-on or, change the house somehow in a big way, right? You want something new. And I would have an idea journal around at all times you carry with you, because you're going to get a lot of ideas this year. Some of them could be quite innovative as well. You're going to be guided to try new things as you decide what you want to pursue in the next 3 years. So you're going to be looking kind of at the big picture in terms of that. And you don't need to decide anything this year. You just want to lean into that curiosity, looking into, what's possible? What ideas, am I coming up with? And that's why I say keep an idea journal, because you're going to have a lot of ideas, and it's not really needing to make any decisions. You can start trying things out and see what feels good, see what you like. It's a very experimental time. It's a time of great awareness. So, with that 6 energy, again, you'll have a lot of awarenesses arising around your relationships with people, places, and things. So, not just the people, but your money, with how you move through the world, your purpose, all of that stuff. You're going to be getting a lot of revelations about that. And so this is actually a really fun time for you to get a lifetime numerology reading and an annual reading. But a lifetime would be really cool for you, because you would get to see what is spanning out for you in the future for the next few years, and where you're headed based on your coding. And so that could be a really fun thing to do. You're going to be wanting to come into more alignment with your true desires, your passion, your purpose, and especially with that 6 energy again, it's just going to combine. It's going to be really strong for you. You're going to want to free yourself from the ideas and expectations of other people. So this is where your relationship dynamics with people will be shifting a lot. And for you, it's about following your own path this year, listening to the voice of your inner being, learning to trust it, and following that, not worrying what all the other voices outside of you are telling you. If people are saying, "Oh, that's crazy, that's not possible," do not listen to them. Just focus on what you feel inside, what you're inspired to do. The one is all about inspiration. So following that inspiration this year will lead you down the right path, will keep you on path toward your purpose, and you'll start to feel more confident as the year progresses in about what's next for you and what's next for the world as a whole. So it's time of rebirth for the ones, and really, really fun energy coming in with that. And, combined with that creativity of the 6 as well, that could be really fun for you. So leaning into all of that and allowing the awarenesses to arise there. I'm not going to lie, for everyone, there's going to be some big things that come up this year that, could be quite surprising and shocking. And just, there's going to be a lot of awareness coming up for the ones this year. And, going, oh, wow, okay, I see that. And, can you just allow it to rise and just be what it is? So that's for the ones. I'm just going to check the comments here and see how we're doing. Doreen, thank you from a 9. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. I see Samantha had to pop off, but yes, she got her 8 year. So very good. So I'm going to go into the 2s next. So if your personal year is the 2, this is a very significant year if your personal year is a 2, because we have 2022, we already have 3 2s coming in. So then that personal year of a 2 is really going to amplify your intuition and heighten your ability to read and understand people this year. But you're also going to be really focused on all of that codependent stuff and really navigating that, really overcoming that this year. Because the 6th annual year is already highly intuitive, and then with that 2 coming in and all of those 2s, it's really amplified. So if you are personal year number 2, be prepared for that. You are going to be dealing with a lot of relationship stuff this year, and your connection with your purpose also, because the 2 is about stepping forward. So you will be moving forward in your purpose this year. It's going to be a really strong pull. And again, that's why the pull in this particular collective 6 year is really strong, because of all the 2s that create that 6, right? So, we've had 6 energy years in the past, but they haven't added up with 3 2s. And so this is really, really strong. And this 2 personal year is really the crux of what's creating the energy of this 6 year. So a lot of amplification of all of the themes we've been talking about for the 6th year are coming in for you 2s. And also you're going to be wanting to connect with your purpose. And you've been through that one energy year where you had all the awarenesses come in 2021. So this year you're going to be really connecting with that purpose in an even stronger way. And you're going to be drawn to working with people. You're going to want to partner, collaborate. You're going to probably connect with people on an intimate level. So you could be starting a new relationship if you're not already in one, or falling deeper in love with your current partner. So that is a big theme for this year as well. And just that connection with family, with community, with just the want of unity. Your purpose is probably going to be very focused on creating some sort of collaboration, unity, connection, community type thing, right? Because that's so important to the 2. And so if this is your personal year number 2, that could be really a strong pull for you this year. You're going to be really pulled towards unity consciousness and spreading the message of that, most likely. So I see that coming in for you. And you're going to move into your new vision. You're going to move your new vision into the world, and it's a vision for a new world. So it's both combined right there, right? And you'll seek out people who can support you in that. This is not a year where you do things alone. You are going to be doing this with other people. And so if you're used to working alone, then that's going to change for you this year. And I don't mean just work work related, but doing anything alone, right? You're going to want the supportive community this year. You're going to want to experience that connection, and that is what's going to bring you the most wealth in every area of your life. So really diving into connecting with others in a big way this year. And it's usually a very lucky year for people, so that's fun. And we're all having good luck, right? Because it just may not feel like it for some, but this will feel a little more lucky. And there's a sense of optimism that you have, even though there could be, all kinds of stuff coming up or going on around you. You just seem to have like things falling into place for you. And so that's a really nice aspect of a personal 2-year. It'll be really easy for you to connect with people too. Like you'll just find yourself in the right place at the right time kind of thing. And it's not going to require a lot of efforting. So that's really fun for you. Personal year number 3. If your personal year is 3, then your year will be very amplified, right? The 3 brings in amplification, and the 3 is it works really interestingly with the 6, because the 3 and the 6 are both very creative numbers. The 3 and the 6 are also very mental numbers. So you'll be, really having an intensified experience of what you think, and, could bring a lot of mental spinning. It could bring anxiety, things like that, if you're not channeling that creativity into creating what you want to experience in your life and in the world. So you'll need to be very conscious of that, and so that you can harness all of that creative energy in your favor. And when you do, you can really experience some incredible expansion, because if you think about the 3-6-9 combo, which is the divine timing cycle, the amplification of it, the legacy of it, the completion of it in that 3-6-9, that you have the 3 and the 6. So you can really create an amplified legacy this year if you tap into all of that creative energy and channel it correctly, channel it in a positive way, channel it into what you want to create. So you can feel really excited this year, very expansive. You can feel very celebratory. The 3 is very celebratory for, really celebrating what's happened in the past 2 or 3 years for you. You've completed a lot of stuff. You've moved through the awareness. You've moved through, that 2-year would have been your 2021 with all the connection and everything. And so, what's next? And feeling excited about that, and knowing that you can create whatever you want, and you have so much creative energy at your disposal this year to do that. So, this is really an exciting year for you. Now, if you're more focused on the mental spinning, you could, feel, like I said, that anxiety. You could even feel grief, loss, depression over, if you're not where you want to be. If that's the case, you really want to focus on self-mastery this year. The experience you're having right now is going to be directly related to how much self-mastery you've been able to harness up to this point, where if you've been focusing on learning that and mastering yourself and your emotional maturity. If you haven't, then you could be facing some challenges this year around that, and needing to bring that in and focus on that more, especially with that 6 energy coming in as well. So, that control energy on the lower side, wanting to control and criticize and judge, and all of those things can come up for you if you're not channeling that energy into a positive way. And so be mindful of your thoughts this year, and learn how to master them, learn how to master your emotions, learn how to shift all of that into creating what you want. And again, if you haven't done the brain game, this would be a really excellent time to do it. So that'll help you a lot with that. You can have a lot of fun this year, though. You can travel, have new friendships, play, enjoy life. This is really about that. And so this will be, you know, how can you do that with what you do in the world, what you put forth in the world? And you'll still want that collaboration going on, and lots of people around you. The three's very social. So you'll be finding that to be a theme as well. And you will probably, you know, feel confident to take bold actions, take risks, advance ideas to the next level, because 3 is all about expansion, right? It's expansion and you know, creating in many different directions. So play around with stuff, have fun with it, and this is how you channel that energy into creating what you want, 3s. So you've got a lot of it this year to work with that 6 coming in, and it can be really fun if you let it. So that's the invitation to you. So if your personal year number is 4, it's going to be more of a grounded, practical year for you, and you may be feeling like things are going to start slowing down. Your passion and excitement are going to be feeling a little bit more responsibility, right? There's going to be some details that you need to deal with, and that's going to be a big focus for you this year. The 4 is also about structure. So again, the home is going to be really important to you this year, and bringing elements into your home from nature, from outside, right? So, you know, maybe decorating with leaves and wood and rocks and, you know, things that are natural outside, bringing water element in, fire with the candles and stuff, safely, of course. You know, and even air movement, right? So, you know, you might have some sort of like, you know, wind chime thing, or I don't know, but, you know, bringing in those elements from the outdoors are really going to make you feel that sense of hominess even more, and maybe creating a garden for yourself or an outdoor space that you really love, that feels peaceful and harmonious to you. That will bring you a lot of joy this year, and feeling very stable, right? And that's what this 4 energy year is wanting. It's wanting that stability in your physical environment, particularly because the 4 is a physical number. And so also this is going to be about creating stability in your health. And if you've been dealing with any health issues, this is the year to really focus on improving your health through how you care for yourself, and maybe using some more natural approaches to doing that, because the 4 is about that nature aspect, bringing that in. You're going to be building and creating strong foundations in every area of your life, right? And with that 6 energy coming in, it'll allow you to be a little more creative with how you do that. And it's about also you know, creating contracts and covenants and reviewing your contracts with other people. So Joy Kingsborough did a gift miss thing where she, you know, offered 12 gifts to the 12 days of Christmas, and one of them was about sacred covenants. And if you haven't tapped into that, I highly recommend that if your personal year is 4, because you want to create those sacred covenants for the year of what you want to experience. And it will be about reviewing your contracts with everybody and everything this year. So in the face of all of that karmic stuff coming up, that clearing karmic contracts, and moving forward beyond those contracts, or changing contracts that you currently have. You might choose to get married this year. The 4 is about marriage. It's about you know, committed relationships, and so that could be happening. Or you know, you might start a business contract with someone. It's definitely about all those contracts, official agreements, things like that, and reviewing what's not working for you and what is, and making adjustments because of that 6. It wants to bring in the balance. So you're going to be making adjustments to any contracts that you currently have in place. Just a minute, I just need a drink here. So this is a time when you get a little more practical in what you do, and you're going to be very practical. The 4 is also about leadership, right? So you're being called into leadership through your purpose. And this is a very big theme for this year with the 6 coming in. So, this is really about saying, okay, I do recognize that I am here to lead, and I'm going to be willing to step up and start doing it this year. You're going to feel a really strong pull to that. And it would behoove you to answer the call, because you'll really experience so much wealth flow in your life when you do, and fulfillment, and it's just like this feeling of stability, like you're in your element, like you're in your own, like really stepping into that sovereignty that you are, right? And letting go of any fear. That's the thing that can really plague the 4 on the low side, is fear. So releasing fear and stepping into the courage to do it anyway. It's not about not being afraid, but it's just about moving through that fear, and get support if you need to do that, because that 6 energy year with all those 2s is about not doing it alone. So even though you're here to lead, you don't have to lead by yourself. You can have a support network of other leaders that you connect with in, things like a mastermind group or something like that could be really good for you this year, to come together in connection and collaboration with other leaders to help get the support that you need to really lead with courage this year and really step into your sovereignty. So, and our final personal year number, thanks for being so patient, 5s, is the 5. And so that personal year number 5, it's the halfway point in your cycle. It's the time when you're feeling a lot. You're feeling a lot of everything around you, and you're feeling the desire for freedom and expansion and growth. You want to move into something new. There's a disruption coming in to kind of shake the foundation of what you've put in place the previous year. So whatever you were putting in place this year for yourself in 2021, you're gonna have something come in to test that, to shake it up a little bit. I hate to use the word test, but kind of shake things up a little bit so that you can make adjustments to where things need to change, because the 5 is about change, and it's all about making changes so that you can move forward with what you want. You've created this foundation for yourself now this year, and you've been feeling that change of the 5 energy year that has been in the collective this year as well. So every time you probably tried to create some structure, you were having to shift and change with that. And you'll probably be feeling some of that this coming year, but it'll be a little bit different, because the 6 is wanting to bring things back into balance, so that does cause some change energy, and you're going to have that change energy of the 5 as well. But because you've already laid down the foundation, it will feel a little different. It will feel not so you'll still feel like you're going to be making progress, but it's going to have a similar feeling of every time I do something, I have to change something. You're going to be making more changes this year. You may move this year, changing your home life, changing what you're doing in your purpose. You're going to be noticing what's working, and you're going to be getting rid of what's not. It's just a lot of shifting again this year, but it's for the purpose of alchemizing what you're creating. And so keeping that in mind, if you're someone who doesn't like change a lot, you do have more change coming in this year, and you'll be getting to practice with being okay with living in that unknown. And you've been practicing that this past year as you've been laying down your foundations and having to keep, pivoting and adjusting course. And so you'll be doing more of that again this year. But this time it's going to be more focused on your personal relationships and your purpose more than ever. And if you feel like you're trapped, or you feel like, there are things outside of you that inhibit your freedom, you're going to be learning this year, and you've probably been dealing with this in this past year like we all have in the collective, but on a more personal level this year, you're going to really be starting to focus on, again, coming from the inside out. Your freedom starts within. Your freedom is within. You're free wherever you are, in whatever situation you are in, and you always have that freedom within. No one can ever trap you. No one can ever inhibit your growth. No one can ever stop you from doing anything if you're coming from the inside out, because the freedom we desire is always available within us. And so it's about emotional mastery. It's about personal self-mastery, and growing in that and expanding in that this year, focusing on spiritual growth and spiritual learnings, understandings, very similar to the 7 in that way. But this is, a time for pivoting and expanding and growing, whereas the 7 is actually ready to leap forward into things. You're going to be looking for new challenges, and you're going to be presented with some new challenges in order to help you grow and prepare you for when you do step into that 7 in a couple of years to really move forward in a big leap. And so, making those shifts and changes this year, deciding too, are you going to get stuck in the past, especially with this 6 energy coming in and this nostalgia, right? And also this desire to heal the past. Yes, we need to do that work, but then we need to move on. We need to grow and expand beyond it. We need to not get stuck in that. So this is going to be a year where you learn that, and you will be called to move past all of that once you've dealt with it. You need to deal with it, but then you also need to move past it. So you see the theme coming through for everyone this year. There's, a breakthrough is coming for you, but you do have inner work to do this year. And you're going to face fears, you're going to face limitations, face insecurities, face that feeling of unworthiness that is so not true. And face your fear of the unknown, and really allow yourself to embrace the fun and the adventure of it, of the curiosity of, oh my gosh, what's next? This could be so amazing if you could just get past your fears. And the 5 is a force to reckon with when they really embrace that higher side, and there's so much fun available to you and so much adventure, and it's a great year for travel and exploration, right? So really diving into that this year, and what's possible with your purpose, what's where can I go next with this? So really having fun with that, and just having fun. Again, it's kind of like the 3 energy in that way, the fun, the playfulness. The 5 really likes to have fun. And you can find a lot of freedom in allowing yourself to have fun despite what's going on in your outside world. So that wraps us up for the personal years. So how did you guys receive all of that information? And how is that landing for your personal year, and also for the personal years of your loved ones, right? Think of what your romantic partner or spouse and your children and your close friends, what their personal years are, and how that's going to play into the dynamic of how you all experience your years together and going forward. So it's really fun to listen to all of the different years and plugging in the people with what year they are and all of that. And Yeah, so you're welcome. Yeah, it was so much fun to be with you guys today and amplify all of the fun energy of the three today that we're having in the celebration. Happy New Year's Eve and Happy New Year's to those in Australia and that part of the world. Happy New Year's Eve to everyone here in North America and the Northern Hemisphere. So we are. We are getting ready for a nice celebration tonight, and I am planning to meditate the new year in because that's a tradition I set back in, I think 2009 is when I started doing that, and I really love that. I really love to reflect and journal and meditate on New Year's Eve and, really celebrate my year. And so I'll be doing that this year again and really enjoying and relishing in that. Happy New Year's Eve to all of you guys. And let me know in the comments if you did have any questions about how to calculate your personal year so that you can understand which year applies to you. Let me know, and if you're on the replay, and I will help you calculate that. I'll come back in the comments and answer those. Have a wonderful New Year's Eve and holiday weekend, and I love you guys. Happy New Year.